So today is the day that you need to ask any questions that you have about these topics, okay? Because tomorrow we do have the test. Today, we're going to review for Touchstone 4, units 10 to 12 test. All right, Leslie, Rociel, Laurentina, Vianney, and Alejandra, get your notebooks and let's get started. During this review, I'm going to ask you some questions. Answer the questions the best way possible. And the questions are going to be similar to the questions on the test. So if you understand the review, then you will probably do a good job on the test. All right. Everybody go to page 99. 99. Do you hear that? She's learning how to cook los tomates. She's going to make entomatadas. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I like. Okay. So before we begin the lesson, there's something that you need to review. There's this thing called the past perfect. We talked about this already, I think on unit 5, the past perfect. But remember, the past perfect has a structure of had or hadn't plus the past participle form of a verb. But in this lesson, on unit 10, lesson A, we practiced using if to talk about hypothetical situations about the past. This is what a lot of people know as the third conditional. You know, we use the third conditional to talk about hypothetical situations in the past. For example, if I hadn't gotten sick on the weekend, I would have given you this review yesterday. Okay, did I get sick? Yes. Did I give you the review? No, this is all hypothetical. And it's about the past, not the present. So remember, when you talk about hypothetical situations in the past, use the past perfect after if. Okay, that's number one. When you talk about hypothetical situations about the past, number one, use the past perfect after if. You know, for example, if I had gotten. And use a past modal on the other side of the sentence. Remember, a past modal is modal plus have plus past participle. Like in this sentence, I would have given. That's a past modal. Also remember this, that the order of the clauses may change. Instead of beginning the sentence with if, I could put if in the middle of the sentence. For example, I would have given you this review yesterday if I hadn't gotten sick. Okay. The modals you can use for the third conditional are would, could, may, and might. Would, could, may, and might. Those are the modals that you can use. And they all mean different things, right? Would is to imagine your behavior. Could is to talk about another possibility. And may and might is to talk about another possibility, but with less probability. Now, on the test, you're going to have a question like this. Let me see. What is the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen?
Letter A.
Letter A. If I had studied more, I would have passed. Why not letter B?
Because has a verb modal, a modal verb.
A modal verb. Yes, yes. And remember, after if, you use the past perfect. So a lot of students, they make a mistake with using past modal after if. They say things like, if I would have studied more, I would have passed. And this is not correct. This is not correct. After if, you need to use the past perfect. If I had studied more, I would have passed. Okay? Remember that, please. Another question is going to come on the test. What is the correct answer here?
Would have studied.
Very good. If I had gone to university, I probably would have studied medicine. Okay? Because after if, you have the past perfect, and on the other side of the sentence, you have the past modal. Would have studied. Remember, the modal would is used 90% of the time in the third conditional. Okay, 90% of the time. Yes, you can use could, you can use may and might, but would is the most common by a lot. All right. Another question that's going to be on the test. Number 3. What would you have done if you had been alive during the civil rights movement? The civil rights movement is that movement with African Americans and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman, all of that was the movement, right? In the 50s and 60s in the United States. What is the correct answer?
Maybe C.
Not maybe, it is letter C. I would have helped America. Remember, in your responses, you would also use the past modal. I would have, and then the verb in the past participle. I would have helped America. Now, I would help America, that structure is correct. But I would help America, that's talking about the present or the future. Okay. See, you can use if to talk about hypothetical situations in the present. But if it's in the present, we don't use the past perfect and we don't use a past modal. We use the verbs in the past and just a regular modal verb. No. For example, what would you do if you had $1 million? I would buy a lot of apartments. And all of this is about the present or the future. But when it's hypothetical about the present and future, we use would and a normal verb, would and a base verb, and if and a verb in the past, not the past perfect and not the past modal. But on the test, you're just going to focus on the past. Any questions about this? All right, well, I have a question for you. What would you have done if you had woken up 3 hours earlier today? What would you have done if you had woken up 3 hours earlier today?
I will have worked out.
Okay, good. I would have worked out. Marco, you're here. Nice to have you here.
Yes, I was late. Sorry.
Don't worry. Class, tell me your answers if you have them already. I would have taken a shower.
I will have been on time.
You would have been on time. Nice. Thank you, Daniel. Good morning.
Good morning, by the way.
Leslie, Alejandra, Lorentina, Rociel, come on, I know you have something.
I would have gone to the gym.
You would have
It's
gone
okay.
to the gym. Perfect. Lorentina, what would you have done?
Teacher. I don't know if it's correct to say I will have tried to sleep again.
That's perfect, actually.
Okay. Yes, because it's 4 a.m. O sea, desperté esa hora.
All right, good. Lorentina?
I will have, I don't know.
You would have, if I lived where you lived, Lorentina, I would have gone out to buy a bolillo con relleno. Because Lorentina lives in a place where they have really good bolillo con relleno.
Wow. And a little of chilate.
Yeah, a little chilate. Yes. VNA, Vivi, come on. You're very quiet.
I would have walked with my dogs on the park.
At the park, nice. Okay, good. And VNA?
Maybe teacher, I will have been in my bed because the weather is cold.
All right. It's cold in Mexico City today.
Yes, it's cold.
Nice. Does the cold weather usually start in September?
Yes, maybe.
Sometimes. All right, cool. Well, this is everything about the past perfect. Do you have any questions about it? No? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay.
Teacher, when I use would, could, may, the verb don't change
What do you mean?
on the first example.
This one?
Okay. Would have the verb change, yes.
What do you mean?
I confuse with the verb. Always I need to change. For example, I will have paste. Always I need to put this verb in past participle.
The like after have.
Yes.
Yes, after have, you always use the past participle. That is true.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But can we use the different modal verbs now? Will, could, may, might.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can use would, could, may, or might. So you could say I would have passed. You could
Mhm.
also say I could have passed, or may or might have passed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome, sir. Well, in that case, let's continue. That's the first topic that's going to be on the test. All right, the second topic, Unit 10, Lesson B. Here we talk about tag questions. Okay, we use tag questions to confirm or check something, right? To confirm or to check something. Remember, for the tag, you're going to use a comma plus an auxiliary verb or the verb be, and then a subject pronoun. Subject pronoun. Let me give you some examples. With the verb be, I'm late, aren't I? She's late, isn't she? They're late, aren't they? That's the verb be. With was, it would be like this. I was late, wasn't I? They were late, weren't they? So with the verb be, it's kind of easy, except with, with am. With am, you had to be careful. I'm late, aren't I? That's the only one that is weird. All right. Something that's gonna be difficult with tag questions is the simple present and the simple past. You work at KFC. What would be the tag?
Don't you?
Don't.
Very good. You work at KFC, don't you? Very good. How about this? You don't work at KFC,
Do you?
do you? Good, good, good. All right. She works at KFC.
Doesn't
Doesn't she?
Doesn't she? And she doesn't work at KFC,
Yes.
does she? And the reason why I'm talking about KFC is because I want some right now. Do you like KFC?
Yeah.
All right. It's not the most
San
healthy
the sandwich.
food.
I know.
Oh,
But
the
it's
sandwich.
delicious. Yeah.
That's the best thing. And the chicken tenders,
Yeah.
or how they call it here, the chicken fingers. No? Yes, yes. All right, exactly. And now in the past, it would be like this. She worked at KFC. Didn't she? She didn't work at KFC. Did she? Remember, tags are like saying yes or no. No, you work at KFC. No, you don't work at KFC. Yeah, but it's kind of unintelligent to say yeah and no in English after these questions. It's much better to use tag questions. ¿Trabajas en KFC? No. In English, you can say you work at KFC. No, but it's not the same. It's not as educated as the tag questions. So it's much better to use the tag questions. Something that might be confusing is the present perfect. Look, she has a car. I'm sorry. Sorry?
Hasn't?
No,
Doesn't.
doesn't. She.
Oh yeah, because it's not present perfect.
Exactly. So that's gonna be something that's gonna be a little confusing.
Yeah.
She has been to Disney, hasn't she? So be careful. If you see has by itself, si ven a has solo, this doesn't. Okay. Now, if you see has with another verb, it's present perfect, and you're going to use hasn't. Let me give you some examples in the negative form. She doesn't have a car, does she? She hasn't been to Disney, has she? The same thing with have. Be very careful. They have a car, don't they? They have been to Cancun, haven't they? The same thing in the negative form. They don't have a car, do they? They haven't been to Disney, have they? Entonces, si ven have y has solos, no es el presente perfecto, es el presente simple y tendrían que usar el do o el does o el doesn't o el don't. Y ya si ven have o has con otro verbo, es un perfecto. Y en ese caso usarías el auxiliar have, haven't, has, hasn't. Okay. So now let me give you some examples from the test. On the test, you're going to have something like this. Carlos went to the party, and the options are going to be, did he, didn't he, or went he? And what would be the correct answer?
B.
B, right? Didn't he? Yes, the comma, the auxiliary, and then the subject pronoun. All right, now then this one is going to be really confusing. Be careful.
Letter B.
Letter B. Why?
Isn't she?
Hasn't.
Why, Robles? Why?
Because been is past participle. The verb be.
The verb be. Nice, nice. So this, she's been is like saying she what?
She
Has been.
She has
Has
been.
been.
Yes. Be careful. The contraction with S, it can be is or it can be has. You gotta be careful. Now, in this case, we would say, isn't she? Why in this case we can use isn't she in number 3 and not in number 2? Why?
Because it's present continuous.
Exactly. In this case, she's being is she is being. How do I know? The verbs. We have the past participle and then we have the verb ing. If it's verb ing, you know it's the verb be. Si ven que es el verbo ing, saben que esta S es el verbo be, is. Porque en los tiempos continuos se usa el verbo be y verbo ing. In the continuous verbs, you use the verb be and the verb ing, the present participle, not the past participle. All right, one more. What is a tag for number 4? Sorry, not Donald, it's Donald.
Doesn't.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he? Yeah. Donald plays chess, doesn't he? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Any questions?
No.
No,
Not today.
No.
not today.
Tomorrow, yes.
All right. Nice. Well, in that case, go to page 109. All right, now page 109, this is unit 11, lesson A. And here we're talking about the passive voice in the present continuous and present perfect. To talk about trends in society. All right, I'm gonna give you some sentences in the active form and you change it to the passive, okay? They are changing the menus. Class, in the passive, it's the menus what?
Has changed.
Almost.
No.
Are changed.
Was changed.
R is good.
Are changed.
Look at the examples from page
No.
109. In the passive,
Are being
are being
Being.
what?
changed.
Changed. Good pronunciation, changed. They are changing the menus are being changed. What happens? Well, first, we take the active object and make it the passive subject. Tomamos el objeto activo y lo hacemos el sujeto pasivo. What is the difference? Well, the object goes after the verb and the subject goes before the verb. How do we know that this is passive? Well, the subject is passive. The menus are passive. Okay, we take the active object and make it the passive subject. Then we follow the formula. For the present continuous, it's is, am, are, plus being plus the past participle. And for the present perfect, it's have or has plus the past plus been and then the past participle. So now let me give you a sentence in the active form, in the present perfect, and you change it to the passive. They have changed the menus. In the passive,
The menu.
Have been changed.
have been changed. Good. Exactly. Now, of course, after the past participle, you can use a complement. You can add by. That's something that's important, no? Add by if the agent is important. The agent is the person or thing that does the action.
Teacher, sorry, I have a question. What's the meaning of PP?
Oh, present perfect.
Ah, okay, thanks. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Let me write that down here just in case. For my visual students, PC is present continuous and PP is present perfect. All right. Guillermo, tell me.
I have a question, teacher.
Yeah.
The passive voice is possible to use with, for example, other tenses like past perfect or with modals.
Yeah, exactly. In this level, we saw the passive voice with the present and the past with some modal verbs, and right now with the present continuous and the past continuous. In fact, Guillermo, you can use the passive voice with every tense except the future perfect continuous.
Okay, teacher.
So you can use it with 11 tenses and then modals. But we will see all of the passive voice in level 5. There is one lesson. Oh, you're gonna love this lesson. There's one lesson with all of the tenses in the passive voice in one lesson. All of them, all 11 tenses in just one lesson. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful lesson. And Rosina like, no, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be so simple because all of this experience that you're accumulating, it's gonna help you. You're gonna be like, this is a piece of cake, teacher. Give me more, give me more. This is too easy. But yeah, Guillermo. The only thing that's gonna change, Guillermo, is the verb be.
Okay.
It's the verb be.
Okay,
But
teacher.
we'll talk about that in the future.
Thanks.
You're welcome, sir. Now, on the test, you're gonna have some questions where you're gonna take an active sentence and make it passive. For example, we're eating a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit. How would you change that?
Are
Are being.
Is being.
Is
Eaten.
being eaten.
Yes.
Why is and not are?
because it's singular.
Yes.
So look, and the word fruit is crazy, right? So fruit can be countable and uncountable. This is an important question, you know. Well, this is an important thing to know because sometimes you're going to see the word fruits and sometimes you're going to see the word fruit. We use fruit when we talk about fruit in general. And we use fruits to talk about different types All right. For example, I can say, I eat a lot of fruit. And this can mean like, I have 3 apples every day. And you can say also, I eat a lot of fruits. I have an apple, an orange, and a banana. So, si están hablando de fruta en general, usen la palabra fruit. Y diferentes tipos de frutas, fruits. But when we're talking about like the things that we like and don't like, we usually use fruit in the uncountable. Ms. Robles, do you like fruit?
Yes, teacher. I like fruit.
All right. What kind of fruits do you eat?
I eat apples, bananas, and mango.
Mangoes. Nice, nice. And Rociel, what's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is grape.
Grapes.
Grapes.
Nice, nice. White grapes or red grapes?
White.
The white ones are green. Las blancas son las verdes. I don't know why we say
Okay,
white in English.
red grapes. Grapes.
Red grapes? Yes, yes. All right, yes, yes. So in English, we say white grapes para hablar de las verdes. Why? I don't know. I don't know. In Spanish, las uvas verdes son uvas verdes, no? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Because I don't know if you heard about this, but you have red wine and white wine. No? The white wine comes
Yeah.
from white grapes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're not white, they're green. I don't know why they said that. English makes no sense. Well, one more question is going to come on the test. The problem, yet. The problem, yet. The options are going to be hasn't solved, B, hasn't been solved, or C, is solving. What is the correct answer?
Letter B.
B.
Letter B, hasn't
Hasn't
been
been solved.
been solved. All of the structures are correct, but only one makes sense. Hasn't solved is active. Is solving is active, but the problem, it's not active. Problems cannot be active. We solve problems, the problems don't solve themselves, so they can't do an action. All right. Well, go to the next page. Before I continue, do you have any questions about the passive voice? Not right now? Okay. In Unit 11, Lesson B, there are some words that you have to know. You have to know the words water consumption. You need to know what a landfill is. And you also need to know what a drought is. Let's see. So water consumption means the state or event of consuming water. What is a landfill? Don't give me the translation. Tell me how if I were a child and I said, Rociel, Daniel, Valentina, what is a landfill? And you cannot say Spanish, what would you say?
It's a place where people trash leave the trash or
The place where people leave their trash? Yes. Is it a small place like in el centro de la ciudad? Or it's a big place outside of the city?
It's outside of the city.
Yes. It's a big place outside of the city where people leave the trash. Yeah, it's usually never in the city because, well, that would be a disaster, no? Pollution, the
Very
water
bad.
would be, yeah, it's really bad. And what is a drought?
When you don't have water.
Drought. A time where there is no water, or you don't have any water, like Daniel said. A time where? A time when? Sorry. Like Monterrey a few months ago. It's a drought. All right, now this was the easiest lesson in the book. You have to learn a lot of different expressions. You had to learn the difference between because and because of. You have to learn the difference between in order to and in spite of. Let's see. And you also had to learn the difference between despite and although. Let me give you some examples. All right. So what is the difference between because and because of? After because, you need to have a what?
A clause.
A clause. Yes, and after because of, what do you use?
a noun.
A noun. And a noun can also be a gerund, no? Verb ing. Remember that. Now, in order to and despite, sorry, in order to and in spite of, they're not used for the same thing. You know, because and because of, they're used for the same thing. They're used for reasons. But for a purpose, you're going to use in order to in a verb. And for a contrast, you're going to use in spite of and then a noun or a gerund, verb ing. So I'm going to give you a sentence and you tell me which expression makes the most sense, in order to or in spite of.
What is what?
I'm going to give you the sentence and you're going to tell me if the correct answer is in order to or in spite of. Okay.
Okay.
In order to or in spite of?
In
In
order
order-
Order to.
Right up.
In order to.
Oh, no.
How do you know it's in order to?
It's a purpose.
It's a purpose, why do you?
I turn on the light for save electricity.
Yeah, for that purpose, right? And save is a verb, not a noun, Yes, it's a purpose and it's a verb. That's how you would know. Let's see, another one. You're going to tell me if it's because or because of. A lot of my plants are dying because or because of the winter?
Because of.
Because
Yes.
of the winter. Yeah. All right, good, good, good. Now for the last one, despite and although. Despite and although, they are for contrasts. In spite of is the same thing as despite. And then although, after although, we're going to use a clause. So they both mean the same thing, for something good, something bad. Red, blue, white, black, hot, cold, to contrast. So I'm going to write this. You tell me. Am I going to use although or despite right here?
Although.
Although. How do you know?
Because there is a clause.
It's
It's a clause.
We-
Yes. Yes. Rociel Guillermo, thank you. We have cut down a lot of trees. That's a clause. Okay. Now, I could also say this, despite or in spite of cutting down a lot of trees, we can still plant more and save Earth. Okay, because this is a verb ing, it's a noun, cutting down a lot of trees. And in that case, there is no subject. No subject because there is no verb. Okay. No subject, despite or in spite of. If you can remember these 6 expressions, you will be okay on the test. Any questions? Oh, all right. Well, let's go to Unit 12, Lesson A, page 119.
Teacher, can you wait a minute? I need to finish to write.
Yes, finish writing, no problem. This was another extremely easy lesson. Unit 12, Lesson A. What clauses? What clauses and long noun phrases? Why do we use them? To make things sound more important. For example, if I say, you need more experience, how can I make it sound more important? What you need, how can I complete that? Make it
Is
sound more important.
experience?
Is more experience. Good. You need more experience. What you need is more experience. That's all. Let's see another one. First, you need to make more friends. What you need to do first, class,
Is to make more friends.
is to make more friends. Exactly. All right. I would visit the local food stands. What I would do,
Is to visit the local food stand.
is to visit the local food stands. And in that case, you don't need to use to because would do, after would you use the base verb, so you don't need to use an infinitive. That's why I put it in parentheses.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's see one more thing. You need to study tonight. How can I make that sound more important?
What you need is study tonight.
What you need is study. We're getting one
Or
To
thing.
study.
is to study.
Yes, what you need is to study tonight. Or you can also say, what you need to do is study tonight. And if you can remember those 4 different what clauses and long noun phrases, you will be okay. Do you have any questions about this? All right, go ahead.
Yes,
Finish
teacher, I have a
copying.
question.
Tell me, Guillermo, yes.
How can we know when we have to use the to, the connector, or when we can avoid
All
this
right.
connector into the sentence?
In most cases, do not use to verb. In most cases, you don't use to plus verb. Now, you can use to verb when you have the verb do in the what clause or long noun phrase. For example, what you need to do is to clean. Okay? What you need to do is to clean. But that is only true if you need to. I think I explained this to you the other day. If you can use an infinitive in the what clause or long noun phrase, then you can use an infinitive on the other side of the sentence.
Yeah.
So, do not use to verb if you have a modal verb. For example, what you should do is clean. Not what you should do is to clean. Because clean needs to be in base form because of should. You know, you don't use to verb after should, you use just should and the base verb. So basically, if you can't use an infinitive in the what clause or long noun phrase, do not use an infinitive on the other side of the sentence. Si no puedo usar un infinitivo dentro de la what clause o dentro del long noun phrase, no uso un infinitivo en el otro lado de la oración. Only if you have an infinitive in the what clause.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Okay,
Thanks.
you're welcome, sir. So now let's practice that. Let's practice it. Let's practice that. Let's see. In this long noun phrase, the best thing to do in Acapulco is, can I use an infinitive for whatever I'm about to say? Can I use, let me give you some examples. Can I use A, B, or both?
Both.
Both. Yes. The best thing to do in Acapulco is eat ceviche, or the best thing to do in Acapulco is to eat ceviche. Yes. Both are correct. To eat, no, to eat. In this case, A, B, or both?
A.
A.
Only A, right? Exactly. You cannot put a verb in the past after to. Remember that. Never use a verb in the past after to. The best thing I did in Acapulco was eat ceviche. Or the best thing I did in Acapulco was, well, no, that's the only option, was eat ceviche. In that case, you cannot use the verb in the past. The best thing I did in Acapulco was ate ceviche. No, it needs to be a verb in the present. Okay. We will practice this again in level 5. It's going to be one of the last topics. But of course, it's going to be a little more complex because of the vocabulary in the new level. All right, questions about this?
Could you give me 1 minute, please?
Of course, of course.
To finalize the rate.
Yes, yes, go ahead, take your time, take your time. Let me say that to you. Ustedes saben que hay algunos verbos que llevan to verb, ¿no? Como like to, want to, need to, have to. Si se encuentra con uno de esos verbos y ponen, por ejemplo, need to do, have to do, want to do, like to do. Después de is, pueden usar to, pero es opcional. Lo que sí importa es que usen un verbo en su forma base. Pero si usan el need, el have, el like o el want y no está el to do, entonces del otro lado esas fuerzas que tienen que usar el to. Sí es que deciden usar un verbo. ¿Ok? Por eso acá en la primera B puse to sin paréntesis porque no es opcional, es obligatorio. Y acá es opcional porque ya usé el to acá. De hecho, yo recomiendo que no usen el to si acá ya está, para no escucharse muy repetitivo. Okay, what you need to do first is make more friends. Or what you need first is to make more friends. All right? It's complex. It's complex, it's complex. But lo chistoso es que eso de cuándo usar to, cuándo no usar to, de eso no se trataba la lección. La lección de cuándo usar to y cuándo no usar to es para el nivel 5. It's different. It's different. Maybe that's why it's a little more complicated. But don't worry. If you understand that what clauses and long noun phrases make things sound more important, that's okay. That is enough. Because that's what you need to know at this level. How to use what clauses, not when to use to and long and what clauses, just when to use what clauses to make things sound more important. And if you remember the examples that I gave you, like this and this, you will be okay on the test. And in general, in real life. Let's move on. The last lesson, page 121. Unit 12, lesson B. All right, in this lesson, we practice the future continuous and the future simple. Remember, for the future continuous, you're going to use will or won't plus be plus verb ing. Not the future simple, future perfect. For the future perfect, you're going to use will, won't, plus have, plus the past participle. We use the future continuous to talk about things that will be happening or in progress in the future. For example, I will be working at a restaurant. I will be going out this weekend. I won't be working at this place in 5 years. And we use the future perfect to talk about things that will have been completed or started before a specific time in the future. It's optional to use, but sounds really sophisticated. By 2025, I will have found a new place to live. Before 2024, I will have graduated. I will have bought a new house before the end of the year. Okie dokie, any questions?
No, teacher.
All right, guys. So number one and number two, these are the type of questions you're gonna have on the test. In 5 years, A, B, or C?
A.
A.
Very good. I will be working for Google. By 2030, I,
Okay.
hold on. I said graduated. Started. Oh my gosh. But it is definitely C. I will have started a
Yeah, in
family.
this case, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Sorry, I'm thinking about graduating. All right, guys. What is the negative form of will?
Want.
Won't. Can I use will with any subject, singular, plural? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good. What is the difference between will and may and might?
Teacher, can you put again the screen? Please, I
Please.
need to copy.
I don't think it's possible. I'm so sorry. Whenever I move the screen, it disappears. I'm so sorry, VNA. I should have asked you.
Don't worry, teacher. I checked the video.
All right. Thank you. So what is the difference between will and may and might?
The level of
For
security.
things that you don't show.
Level of security, Guillermo said. What did you say, Rociel?
Ah,
What did you say?
that may and might is for things that you don't sure.
Exactly. You're not so sure, right? There is less probability with may
Teacher,
and might.
may is less or more probability?
Less.
Yes.
Less
Okay.
probability. I'm sorry. If I said more, I'm sorry. I meant less. Yes. With
Okay.
may and less, you have less probability. And will is more probability. More
Okay.
certain, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to say a sentence and you tell me if it's active or passive. Okay. I'm washing my car.
Active.
Active.
All right. Florentina is being watched.
Passive.
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 All right. And what about Florentina is watching TV?
Active.
Active.
Active. All right. And what about food is being cooked by Florentina?
Passive.
Passive.
Passive. And Florentina is cooking food?
Active.
Active.
Active. Florentina has been to Disney.
Active.
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 All right. A lot of countries have been visited by Laurentina.
Passive.
Passive. All right, good. So you know the difference between active and passive. That's great. All right, I'm gonna say a sentence and you tell me the tag. All right.
Okay.
Bruno Mars sings very well.
Doesn't
Doesn't
he?
he?
Isn't she? Doesn't she? Doesn't he?
Everybody's saying she. What do you know? What do you know that I don't know? All right. All right. All right. Bruno Mars sings very well. Doesn't he? Or she? Maybe. All right. Now, how do I say Ariana Grande won the Grammy? The tag is
Doesn't she?
Doesn't she?
listen.
No, didn't.
Didn't, because the one is in the
Didn't.
past, right?
Oh,
Ah, yeah.
Didn't she?
All right. Bad Bunny was in a movie.
Wasn't she? Wasn't he?
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Wasn't he or she?
Was she?
Okay. Maybe you know something that I don't know. And
Daniel, teacher. No more.
he didn't know the
I will tell you later.
All right. Good, good, good. And Bruce Willis made a lot of nice movies,
didn't he?
Didn't he?
didn't he? Nice, nice. All right. Let's see. Will Smith has 2 children.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he? Nice, nice. Will Smith has been in a lot of movies.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't
he?
he?
Wow, you're experts at tag questions. That's good, that's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see what happens tomorrow, okay? Please come early, study hard, study smart. And if you have any questions during the day, please send me a message, okay?
Teacher,
Okay.
if I can take the exam tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and Friday because I'm not going here.
Yeah, you can, look, I'm gonna send the link to everybody on WhatsApp and you can take it whenever you have time and send me the results.
Okay,
You finished.
okay, teacher, thanks.
All right, everybody, you may leave. I'm gonna talk to Guillermo.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Sure.